This is the story on how I managed to go from a hard-stuck plat player to ranked 3,810th place on NA leaderboards. For the past 3 months, I've been documenting my highs and lows as a player, and throughout the twists and turns, we finally managed to pull it through. But as I was sitting there, at my new peak, it was cool, but I didn't feel complete. And it was in that moment that I realized, I know it sounds corny, but what truly matters is the journey that it took to get there. And that's what this video is. The complete series from my start as a plat to where I am now. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and get ready for the experience of your life. And if you're an old time viewer, someone that's been there for the entire journey, thank you for your support. And I wouldn't want any other audience to be there for me. So without further ado, let's start. This is a Radiant coach, and this is me fighting for my dream rank after being hardstuck for 8,760 hours. Wait, that's how long a year is? Everyone's heard the same old story. Hey guys, I'm a coach, and I got this guy from bronze to immortal. May have heard the story from the coach's perspective, but what about the player's perspective? Because to be honest, I rarely hear about it, and I think it's a waste. Because success stories are meant to be told, not summarized. And that's what this video is, on how I managed to gain 600 elo in one act. And hopefully ranked up to Ascendant. Cause damn, the entire year I was playing like shit. I was at an all-time low. But in the midst of running my career into the ground, I got a message on Discord. But little did I know the other side of that message would be a Radiant coach. If you told me a Radiant wanted to coach me, I wouldn't have believed you. And believe me, he's good. Real good. So good he coached his sister to Immortal, ranked 1 on various aim lab tasks, landed top 20 in leaderboards, and beat me in a 1v1. Yeah, this guy's legit. His name's Obey, and he's actually a pretty cool guy. And he's like the first YouTube friend I made so far. But before we bonded, I didn't know him at all. At this point of the story, I was betting my entire career on someone I didn't even know. But I was committed to becoming the man that can make the impossible possible. If anyone's gonna help me, it's gonna be him.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey man, how's life?
I'm good, bro. What about you, bro?
Okay, don't make any mistakes. Got a Radiant coach. That calls us clean. Whoa. Oh, don't tell Jess yet. We have duels to win. Do I get this one?
I think you played that round good. One thing that's really smart that you did that I see a lot of people not doing is at the end of your Skydog, you like what's called like jump forwards, you know what I mean? Or even people up in like Ascendant who don't do that. Like that little extra info can make a big difference.
Ascendant, eh? Seems like this plat's got some spunk. Traces of my play reflect in Ascendant, but this isn't something I bring out on my own. But I'm sure he could help extract more of that level out of me. Oh my bad.
Nice. That was a good round, but in the start you should probably have dumped it earlier. Your plays run really well. I love how you used your flash there. One thing you gotta do though before flashing like that is you gotta call your flashes. Because you have a teammate behind you who you run as well.
Good flash in 5.
Nice. It's really good that you're calling like when you get your flashes and stuff.
Wow, I'm getting better and better. With this coach, I can only imagine the ranks I can climb, the kills I can get, the victories that are inside. We lost. But it didn't feel like the losses I've had in the past. This loss felt like a stepping stone, a window of the player I could be. I went to my coach to ask him how far he believes I can go.
I mean, like, I don't think your mechanics are really holding you back. Because, like, your aim was really crisp sometimes. If you play enough, you could probably hit, like, at least diamond, maybe diamond 2, diamond 3, if you play correctly. One thing, though, which could make you rank up faster, make you a bit more consistent is...
After becoming a student to the game, I got on my computer, only to find out that Valorant is down? What am I gonna do? I'm meeting up with my coach tomorrow. I need to get better before I see him. Because not only is he gonna teach me, but we're actually gonna have a 1v1 for charity, and I'm not donating to children. I'm joking, but I'm not joking about the stakes. If I wanted to improve, I needed a game that was basically like Valorant. Similar gunplay, but slightly harder. Probably want the 5v5 bomb and defusal premise. But where am I gonna find a game like that? Yep, CSGO. This way, I can get better by the time I see my coach again. But there's one teeny tiny itty bitty problem. You know, you'd think I wouldn't be bad at this game since I've been aim training, and I've had 2,000 hours prior to this video, but I forgot to think about how I tailored my brain strictly for Valorant duels.
It's the same game.
I was a fish out of water. All I had was my raw aim. Everything I've been working on and refining were lost. I was back to square one. I can't keep dying like this. Clear your mind. Focus. Ponder it. I'll show them. I'll show them all. Domain expansion. Tap. Central. It was an act of desperation. A cheap framework for survival. With his main abilities dwindled, Dashi focused all of his energy on angles. For CSGO, it was a stopgap, an attempt to bring familiarity through chaos. But through that framework, he developed an acute sense of it all. Time intervals, controlling the space that you have, while manipulating the spaces of others. For Valorant, it was just the thing he needed to widen his mechanical horizon, until he stood at the top, on top of the corpses of his plat rivals and peers, as a diamond. Ascendant was within my grasp, and all I needed was to be shown what it means to play at that level.
Wait. Top one when I coached it last time?
I'm actually kind of mad at myself because I actually wanted to hit Ascendant. I kind of just,
It hasn't even been a week, bro. You've gone from plat 1 to diamond 1. Relax, man. You're good, man. You're vibing.
Okay. Nonetheless, I can't grow complacent here. If I want to become the man that can make the impossible possible, I have to keep growing. This time,
Yeah, you peaked like way before you got like unblinded.
That was a really awkward way of dying, but it was preventable, really preventable. It wasn't anything advanced, I just mistimed a piece of utility. The things defining my play have been really simple lately. Maybe it seems like practical knowledge is the way to go. What's my teammate holding? At what angle could give him an easier time playing Valorant? Well, let's visualize it. There are about 1, 2, 3, 4 angles in total, but there's only 2 I really need to worry about. But if Chamber has that one, my focus should be here. Holding your...
One enemy remaining.
How's that? This run's too easy for you, man.
True that. Whoa, one's flanking. This kill basically summarizes the match, and maybe even the entirety of my career. I had the right idea, but I got sloppy. I need to...
Oh, you need to push that. Oh, this is over-aggression.
It doesn't matter how many shots of these I hit, if I still do stuff like this. But while my cold carcass was on the floor, I had a revelation. The difference between a diamond and an ascendant. I may have lost, but when I tell you I know, I knew. So after saying goodbye to my coach, I ran home to test out my new theory, or should I say, my new identity. Each rank has its own set of problems. Iron, map knowledge and gunplay, bronze, economy, silver, playing the objective, gold, specializing agents, platinum, teamwork and mental, diamond, consistency, communication, awareness, and now ascendant. Only 2% of the entire player base is ascendant. My flaw was thinking that there was one simple answer to why I wasn't ranking up. In the top 2%, the thing that'll define getting better isn't the 20% like communication, aim, or awareness, but the 0.5, the 0.1 improvements, the smaller details, like how you respond in certain situations, or the small niche details about your agent that help collect rounds.
Like, one thing that's really smart that you did that I see a lot of people not doing is at the end of your skydog, what's called like jump forwards, you know what I mean? Like that little extra info can make a big difference.
What's left is to refine. This be it? Is this theory the thing that's gonna propel me forward? What's left is to do.
You just doubled your fucking kills. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for the YouTube channel. One bullet in a dream.
Fun fact, I actually got to Diamond 3, but actually de-ranked all the way down to like Plat 3 and had to work my way up again. But I was resilient. I kept moving forward and had faith in myself. Because this wasn't a promise I kept to myself. This is a promise I made to you guys. Because I told you guys I was going to hit Ascendant. I'm not going to let you guys down. So I stayed true, kept working hard, until I was one game away from reaching Ascendant.
Where are you? Here.
One's got up. From Molly too.
And that's how I got here, a game away, fighting for my life to stand with the big boys. And when I told you I was on, I was on.
One enemy remaining.
Right now, CT. 70 over healing. Nice, you're insane.
But my team didn't feel the same way. I wasn't going to lose so easily. I came too far to stop now. We're pretty well divided on the map. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to.
I've got your trail.
As expected, we must increase our pace and get the bomb down. Or at least, that's what I want you to think. We're probably gonna start retaking soon. This guy jumped out? Is she stupid? Stay calm and read for the info. Oh shit.
New. Stop it. Why must you persist to try? Even the score is so low. Who the hell do you think you are?
They're outside.
Just quit it and give me your Elo Dashi third.
Hey. Remaining. Last player standing. Planted.
Let's try.
Despite my efforts, we lost, but I knew I was more than capable of being Ascendant. It was only a matter of time. And that time was met when I decided to 3-stack. In order to finding the light at the end of the tunnel. I was mentally fatigued, but I made sure to stay alive, help my team, and do my role.
Nothing's blowing up. Can you guys shoot that?
And sure enough, he made it happen.
Wait, our team is so bad. Alright, let's see it. Come on. Even though you did horrible, you should still get at least 8,
I did
right?
not do horrible.
No, I'm just fucking.
We should play again.
You just got carried, like, there's not much shooting.
I'm not
do,
doing it. No, dude. That's the games I played. I have no problem.
We should play again.
Having this be my rank up game. No, for no
You
reason.
should never bottom frag on your rank up game. I never bottom frag on one of my rank up games.
Yeah. Fucking finally.
Okay. And yeah, that's how Ascendant happened. With my newfound peak, I vowed to myself to never let myself go through a plateau like that ever again. My urge to stay ahead of the curve and learn was stronger than ever before. And when it comes to learning in Valorant, there's only one man you could go to. Or should I say, Banana. I tried to learn game sense by watching WoohooJin for 7 days straight. Also, I can become Immortal and play with my friends. I'm Ascendant too, but I want to reach Immortal, because if I don't, I'll miss the chance to play in a monthly tournament where you can win upwards of $2,000. But the obstacle standing in my way isn't the enemy, but my game sense. If I wanted to reach this goal in a short amount of time, I needed to learn, and there's nothing that can help you learn more than
Here come WoohooJin, shit what up. Here come WoohooJin, shit what up. Here come WoohooJin, shit what up.
WoohooJin, a top-notch coach that you definitely have heard of.
You guys don't know who WoohooJin is.
WoohooJin.
In my opinion, he is the best Valorant coach in the game right now.
He goes through any lengths to make sure students learn, adapt, and grow. Literally, you can gain so much information from one video alone. So what would happen if I scoured the internet looking for videos that could help me and you improve as players? And that total amounted to 650 minutes, which is almost 60 hours. Okay, this math is wrong. Oh my god, I was sleep deprived when I made this script. I'm sorry, you don't have to keep bringing it up in the comment section. Okay, back to regular programming. Which obviously I didn't watch them all, but the videos I did watch pushed me to heights that I didn't expect to challenge so soon. From going triple negative to raising up my Immortal friend.
Player standing.
Of course.
One enemy remaining.
Holy fuck, you're insane!
It was a pretty eventful couple of days, but before we can get to these peaks, we have to start at the bottom. Out of all these numbers, the only one I wanted to start improving on is this one, damage delta round. It's basically damage delta and receive span across the games you've played. Cause in my mind, it's just the easiest one to start improving on. And in terms of dealing damage, only one agent came to mind.
This is where Raze excels. Raze utility gives her a direct advantage in duel. A lot of the time, you just get forced into a suboptimal fight.
So that's my goal, forcing awkward fights on the enemy. Reyna has spotted U-Haul.
I know.
Phoenix is pushing up the Sky Dog. If I was Reyna, I'd be trying to regroup with my team, but I won't let that happen. I want to apologize to my past teammates for realizing this so late. I don't have to be the one taking the fight. I just need to make it awkward.
Maybe he's shower side.
I'm smoking heaven for you. Heaven smoked.
Wow, man, that was pretty sick, right? Oh man, I sure hope so, because after that kill, I had 0 impact. Regardless of what I was cooking, I'm simply not proficient on Raze. So every time I tried forcing a bad fight on the enemy,
I'll TP.
what? But this was good, because it made me realize that this gap in skill won't be filled by simply chasing the agent I played. Everything I could do on Raze is something I could have done on a different agent. The only difference is that I need to know how, but I can't get too comfortable, because there's another flaw in my gameplay. Something that I don't fix, I'll never win $2,000 playing Valorant. And believe me, it's the last thing you'd expect. If you showed me these two clips side by side and told me they were the same player, I simply wouldn't believe you. But the fact of the matter is, my aim was just actual dog shit, which is so incredibly strange to me. Literally my favorite aspect, as well as my strongest attribute, is my aim. So how someone like me, a man with hundreds of hours in aim training, look like a noob in the real deal? Turns out WoohooJin actually had an answer for this.
The answer is anticipation. Because in this scenario, you're not peeking a very likely threat, you get caught off guard by it and you have to hit a crazy flick and you get panicked. Try not to click until you think you're on the enemy's head. You're not doing that here.
It's called anticipation. If the pro can't anticipate a play, even an iron could kill them. Fighting duels is like a mini game of percentages. A lot of things can influence the odds, like agents, guns, utility, and ults. For example, it's pistol round, and they have a jet in the sky. It's usual for people to do sight hits, so all I want is an audio cue so I can pre-fire this point. Well, it seems like I've been caught off guard, but luckily for me, I wasn't completely shocked by someone being here. Compared to last game, this was a literal snooze fest.
Dude, I'm...
Check your leg.
He rep 7. That guy rep 7.
While I was playing, my Immortal 3 friend showed God to give me a calm that's making me change how I view the game. It may seem simple, but I totally forgot that the enemy team are human beings as well.
One enemy remaining.
Stop playing it for.
Player standing.
Nice one. One shot.
Nice.
Which really makes me think about how competitive Valorant is. Every time you play, you fight to steal another human's elo. Oh well. But you remember that one problem I had a few games ago? If you showed me these two clips side by side and told me they were the same player, so how does someone like me, a man with hundreds of hours in aim training, look like a noob in the real deal? I had my moments where my aim was quick and decisive, but overall, I felt like a silver. And a harsh realization began to set in. If I don't manage to get over my lack of composure and unreadiness in gunfights, forget Immortal, I'll never get past Ascendant 2. But the harder I tried focusing on composure and readiness, the more basic information slipped past me, and I really started becoming a silver player. I lost and ended the session Ascendant 2, 8RR. Needless to say, I was at an all-time low. But the Valorant gods decided to bless me with a teammate that was ranked in the top 9,000 last stack. I was dead set on performing and closing the learning gap between me and my future rivals.
Almost gonna be mid.
But as per usual, I was a lost puppy. There's a point in every player's life where you've got to decide that enough is enough. My duo has already made a play in this environment. The one being left behind is me. Am I really satisfied by this, Dashi? Will I really let my story end here? Especially when there's so much support? One?
Bro is talented. I'm proud of your hard work. Do it for Gojo. Get your power to your full potential. We're waiting up here in Immortal for you, Doshi.
Tap!
Nice job.
That was the kill I needed to not only get out of that slump, but a clean example of anticipation at work. Despite that high point, I still had some ways to go, but this definitely was a start for a new and improved Dashi. First started making this video, I made the decision not to aim train so I can rely more on my positioning, but this deathmatch called my name. I made an exercise where I pretended, no, believed, that I was in a real game. After a while, I started to see potential.
You were so patient. It's a fucking death match.
But before I can explore it further, I decided to go straight into the action in my final ranked session with 40RR as Ascendant 2. But this game felt different. The map felt different. My eyes felt different. They have a Chamber, Sova, Brimstone, Raze, and Yoru. The enemies I expect to play showers are either Chamber, Raze, and Yoru. Regardless of who, it's obvious that 2 of the 3 agents are gonna wide swing. Crap, I forgot to come when I was thinking the sky. But at least, my read was correct. You wanna fight this? I know you wanna fight this. If I keep the pre-fire going, I just know with everything I've been through, I'm an easy kill for your headhunter, right?
GG's, guys.
Which allowed me to get the 60R, the 70R, and then
rage and hatred.
90RR, which put me 10 elo away from Ascendant 3. And I want to say it was a struggle, but it really wasn't. I'm in complete control of these duels. And since my aim won't fail me in the easy moment, it gives my mouse control a chance to really shine in hard mode.
What's that? Your eyes Ascendant 3?
Yeah. Ascendant 3!
Let's go, let's go.
Which landed me 90RR away from the red ring. At this point in the story, I was confident in a lot of things. My game sense, I wasn't a one-hit wonder, and even WoohooJin commented on that video itself. But shortly after hitting Ascendant 3, I went on a pretty heavy losing streak, all the way back to Ascendant 1. My confidence was pretty shot, and at a certain point, I couldn't tell if I was really having fun playing Valorant, especially since the rank reset brought me back to Diamond. So I decided to explore an aspect of first-person shooters that has always fascinated me. I spent the past 7 days watching and studying how aimers aim to figure out the logic behind their monstrous results.
Oh, it's gorgeous! Demon 1!
Each day I uncovered more and more of the most valuable things in aiming, things I wouldn't have known if I hadn't researched hours beforehand, and not the generically broad stuff, but the precisely niche thing that I uncovered not just from the aim community itself, but the best it has to offer. Like, what the hell is tension management? But in this video, we'll uncover that and more, and it all starts with the biggest myth in aiming. Something that I'm dead serious will blow your mind. Like, wait, stop the music? This genuinely will. And the biggest myth when it comes to aiming is that muscle memory is overrated. I'm sure I can speak for everyone when I say that I totally thought muscle memory was everything when it came to aiming. In the 2,000 hours I've played, I've only changed my sense like 4 times. If the ability of remembering motions isn't the end-all skill, then what is?
Because muscle memory kind of makes you like lazy and stuff, you just autopilot. I feel like with like holding a mouse is a lot of like hand-eye coordination, like what you see is like how you move.
So not only is changing your sense not bad, but it can actually be used as a vehicle to improve even more. But that also begs the question, how often do I change my sense? Am I supposed to randomize it each and every time? I was stumped for a bit, all the way until I found an interview with a #1 Voltic gamer, and he had this to say.
If someone is really persistent on staying like with one sensitivity, I'm not going to force them to change. I would encourage them to gradually start increasing their range, the upper limit and the lower limit of their sensitivity.
Range? I actually like the sound of that. Come to think of it, Tens used to talk about different senses when he's on attack and defense. Increasing my range, specializing my sensitivity to optimize for scenarios I'd see in game. The stage has been set and the foundation is being made. Having 2 different modes in game could open up a world of possibilities, but I'm gonna do things a little differently. On game 1, day 1, or on day 1, game 1. Most people will go high sense on attack and low sense on defense, but I'm actually doing the opposite.
Are they commanding?
I've put countless time honing my crosshair coordination and mouse control, also I can get as many kills as possible, but I realized the best way to use my abilities isn't to get 5 kills, but 1 important kill that echoes through the entire map. But the catch is, I find pockets of time where the enemy's completely vulnerable. The time window where I can make a play is small, but manageable.
Are they commanding?
I'm like a bandit, plucking their strongest card before they even have the chance to react. But why am I telling you? The reason of inverting it is because the attackers are the ones that set the match's flow. So in scenarios like that, I want to reliably get kills, but on defense, you're the one countering that flow. So in the scenario where your life is even more valuable, but you still have to take risks, having a higher sense doesn't just help flicking to the nearest target, but gives the opportunity of choice. It was a working theory that proved itself on defense, but what about attack? Well, let me tell you something. I hated it. every scenario was according to plan. Small, minor, simple stuff, but I just could not get it down for the life of me. My God. This is how we lost the game. I wanted to turn away from my weakness, blame it all on how I probably hit those shots on my usual sensitivity. But I had to keep staring at the goal ahead of me. So after tailoring my aim training for more arm movements, I went to sleep, dreaming about what the fuck tension management was. I woke up, used the restroom, then got out of bed. After doing that, I looked at today's aimbot checklist, and I came across something low-key game-changing. Wait, cut the music, because I'm dead serious yet again. Because this aiming technique unlocks crazy abilities, such as the speed of enemy movement slowing down, predicting where the enemy's going to move as if you were a psychic. And the act of moving your crosshair to the target will become pulling your target to the crosshair as if you were Satoru Gojo. But what if I told you that all these cool abilities came from this? Yep, a ceiling fan. Looking at it on its own, it may not be groundbreaking, a blurry blob that keeps you cool. But if you focus on one of the blades, the once blob turns into a beautifully intricate machine. There are various ways to train your eyes online, with the most popular one being this video eye trainer. But the videos I watch say that the most important thing is focus. This all sounds pretty badass, but how do you truly experience focus? You hear that? Complete silence. In Valorant, there's tons of visual and audible stimuli, which makes it hard to truly focus solely on the enemy, which is why I hopped into a deathmatch and turned the audio levels to an absolute 0. Yeah, I won't be able to do this in a real match, but all I need to do is get familiar with the sensation. Boom, 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 boom. This is pretty sick, and there's one thing I haven't told you. Yeah, I'm reacting quicker, but there's this nifty trick I really want to try, and it's called the informed flick. It's when you focus all your attention not at the crosshair nor at the enemy, but the middle point between the spaces of the two, where the enemy and the crosshair are evenly within range, and shoot. Yeah, well, I tried. But hey, maybe it'll happen in the future. But how does this all translate to an actual 40-minute match? Well, nothing really insane happened since it's only been a day since I started doing this. The only way to find out if it's worth doing is if I did it every day starting now to the 7th day. But I will say, my reaction to mouse control is definitely a lot better, especially when you compare it to yesterday. Heck, I didn't even notice that I was using the wrong sense. But throughout this constant good, there's been a reeking stank in my gameplay, a shadow looming over my performance, and that is my in-game gunplay. So I went to go deal with it tomorrow. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and I feel like that's the case for most things. Focusing on a weakness for once made me nostalgic for a younger me, a version of me that didn't care for rank or feared getting left behind, but someone that loved the game unconditionally. Every time I make a play nowadays, I don't get excited, I'm just relieved that I'm not wasting my time. And it's moments like that when I ask myself, when did I get so jaded? Why am I going through all the effort, exploring aim theory, honing my mouse control, training my eyes, practicing with every gun in the game, and increasing my understanding with how to handle recoil? And that is because I want to make a play, but not just any play, a play that exceeds even my own imagination, to re-experience that childlike wonder when I first started playing first-person shooters. And it all starts with this deathmatch, and I will admit, I was onto something.
Holy cow.
But for every 5 flicks, I was brought down to reality with the ugliness, the ewies, holy moly. This is nasty. So I got back in the range to train some more, and after experimenting, I realized for low sense I need to drag it down for the burst, and for a high sense I only needed to tap. So that became my guidelines for this match.
Wait, behind them! Spike down A.
This might be the thing we needed.
Player
Nope, turns out we completely missed the mark on this one. Crouched too much, too close to the wall, click timing was pretty bad. The way I played that angle was pretty bad. Wow. Aren't I better than this? I had nothing but questions. I was genuinely confused on how bad I was playing. Well, it turns out, the ongoing battle between you and your mind never ends, no matter the highs that you had in the past. It's time to embark on the journey of self-mastery. With the stakes higher than ever before, I decided to change my approach. Instead of doing one aim mechanic each day, I'll be putting every new mechanic to practice all at once. I'm sparing no expense on my goal, and if it means finding the logic between the all-powerful pro player's aim, I'm all for it. And it all starts with tension management, yeah! Tension management is how hard you hold your mouse and tense your muscles when you aim. And this might appear basic at first, and you may have already tried it subconsciously on your own, but after deliberately focusing on it, the results have been astonishing. Each duel requires a different level of tension. More tense fights reward speed and less tense rewards accuracy. Once you get that concept down, it will give you the option to freely finesse between tensing and smoothing your motions. But be warned, once you are aware of tension management, you become responsible for managing your stress. You need to be ready to relax at a moment's notice. 5 days ago, I thought muscle memory was the backbone of aiming. But turns out it was this. These things are useless without a proper mentality. A mentality where you can't just focus on winning, but improving. You see, the past couple of days, I've been playing horribly. It took me 20 games to go positive, which birthed the question, how does one stay consistent in this game? I was doing good a week ago, what the heck happened to me? Well, after watching old games and comparing them to now, I've come to realize a few things. And I realized I've been having these horrible games because I felt like I had something to prove. I was looking for affirmations to reassure my time was well spent. In order to achieve aimbot, I can't be hung up about the past. I have to focus on the now, which leads to the final thing I need to have godlike aim. And that secret weapon is called visualization. Success isn't capturing a goal, it's capturing a character. I need to envision the best version of me, see where I am now, and find the middle point where those intersect. Once that happens, I'll achieve flow, and maybe, just maybe, I'll unlock aimbot. And I'll use that childlike wonder to become the man that can make the impossible possible. I knew my goal was a hefty one. For the plays I wanted to visualize were plays where I had to get 4 to 5 precise kills in one brief moment. But I'm not unprepared, for I have 3 people that'll help me achieve this goal. Charlatan, he's an aggressive omen main, makes a living coaching people, and has a Kovacs routine. A Kovacs routine that I will be doing. WoohooJin, smart, likes long walks on the beach, and has an aim labs routine that I also will be doing. But the man of the hour is Cord. Cord is special for a few reasons. He's down to live coach me, Immortal 3, and likes memes.
Now you gotta watch this video real quick.
But the memes will have to wait, because this goal is low-key stressful. Kill 4 to 5 players in a quick moment? Yeah, that's cool, but I never had a kill feed stack up like that in my 3 years of playing. But I'm sure with the power of Charlatan, WoohooJin, and Cord, we can make the impossible possible. And you can only lose so many times till something just snaps. I was in no nonsense mode. Nothing was getting past me, and no hooligan was going to make a play that they weren't supposed to.
Feel better, D Doshi?
The job isn't done yet.
Job isn't done yet.
Yeah, I was in a pretty bad mood, but I couldn't allow myself to lose towards these trash cans any longer. And I wasn't. This was the first game where I was actually dunking on my competition. Cause yeah, in the past I did see results, but I still lost pretty badly. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the first game I got 20 plus kills during this video's production. But that wasn't the end of it. It was janky at best. But I did make a play, where the feet stacked up like the montages I watched. Yeah, I died like an idiot, but even though I was nowhere on the level I wanted to be, success always has its hints, and this hint was right in front of me. If I took the time to look, like really look, I would have noticed that none of their guns were out, which means I had so much more time than I thought, and I probably could have killed them in a much more cleaner way. I'm finally finding the logic behind miracle plays. I don't know how much longer it's going to take, but I am on the right track. I think. Hey guys, sometime after that clip, I've been put in a weird position. I've gotten a lot of close calls, but I was never able to close it out. And while I was in this position, I realized that I think I'm asking for too much out of 1 week's worth of effort. Success takes time, and there's no need to rush the results. Because even though I didn't hit that clip, I went on a pretty heavy winning streak though, and I managed to get back to Ascendant. And I probably could have won more if I wasn't sleep deprived. Needless to say, this was one hell of a journey. My understanding was flipped on its head, trained my eyes, had unimaginable lows, and I actually managed to come out on top. Yeah, I was happy I got back to Ascendant, but deep down I knew I was running out of options, and if I didn't start seeing results soon, I wouldn't be able to properly visualize hitting Immortal, which wouldn't just let me down, but the 6.5 thousand people that made the decision to watch me. I had the weight of the world on my shoulders to prove I could do anything and make the impossible possible. So this is that end game, the final transformation from a humble plat player to a man ranked top 5,000 in the country. My only option was to become a ranked demon. After linking up with Jet for a good while, I realized that enough time has passed for them to start rotating, and in response I drop this smoke. This smoke is basically an intimidation tactic, letting the enemy know that we really could be posted up on every angle imaginable, even though in reality, no one is there. But they fell for my bluff and went C, which allowed me to set up a set play, where I throw a flash as they're running in, which I like to believe made them rotate back to A. And at that point, I just had to take it nice and easy. Oh, how do you find the time to fall back? Ah, who cares, I won the duel.
Last player standing.
The existence of one is confirmed, but what about the other guy? Whoa, the entire thing is clear? I guess I'll improvise.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I was locked in, but I knew it was going to take more than flashy individual plays to reach Immortal, because to be honest, I still didn't really know what was holding me back at this point. So I decided to throw myself into the belly of the beast by using my friend, but not just any friend, but a paid tier 2 professional Valorant player that carries the name Shogatsu. Even though I was going to take probably the biggest roasting of my life, I knew this was going to happen for the greater good. For me to witness cream of the crop skill, this has to teach me something. And if this doesn't work, I really don't know what would.
Well, well, well. Look who decided to be a big gun.
Yeah, I was scared shitless, but hey man, you'd be too. This man is brutal. I was dead set on making 0 mistakes. And
Guys, spike down A.
Fight him!
One enemy
Good
remaining.
pinch. I know. Back up. Just back up, please.
I was discombobulated. After failing, flopping, lagging. My screen just went black.
Oh my god.
I was told this.
Why are you playing scared? I watched you play so many times, and this is not how you play whenever you're not playing with me. You're playing like you're not gonna make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes. Just go push showers.
And this changed everything. Making mistakes is natural. Being a good player doesn't mean not making mistakes, but the courage to try and fail until you have beaten it into your head. And this gave me so much clarity. I'm a flash outside showers for you, Reina. Then after that, I'm down to just like run it down to here, maybe. I didn't care that I didn't know if my util usage was being optimal. I'm flashing again. I acted and asked questions later. Side, I'm a dog for you.
I'm backing off.
And I may have not made a play myself, but I was an integral piece to my team's success, at least for that round, because I still had a lot to learn. Valorant wasn't black and white anymore. Look. I instinctively ran away because nade bad, you run. But Shogatsu was like, just because the nade is thrown doesn't necessarily mean danger. At the end of the day, it's still 2v1 and we could just beat the nade. His approach to the game was a layer deeper than mine, but at the very least I had a glimmer of light to grab onto, as I duked it out and ranked alone. With my newfound resolve, I came out swinging, but at this point I was literally playing all day.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Reina's hit 103.
Fatigue was starting to set in, and it was starting to reflect in my play, but at this point, it didn't even matter. The crazy world of Valorant was starting to make sense, and the biggest thing that paid off getting out of Ascendant was patience and composure. If you can stay calm and constantly think about how you can win, literally any round becomes winnable, and a path of victory always shows itself. Oh my god, we actually won. I'm not gonna lie, I lost faith in every single one of you, but I'm so glad we pulled through. I hope you guys have a great life and have a good life and a great evening.
Die in a hole.
The impossible becomes possible. This is a Radiant coach, and this is me fighting for my dream. I tried to learn game sense by watching WoohooJin for 7 days straight, and studying how aimers aim to figure out the logic behind the monstrous result.
Please!
Damn, yeah, next game select. This game's the last game.
What's it mark at?
Stealing sight. Oh!
Spike down B.
Phoenix could have flashed just to go through that.
Shadows traveling.
One enemy remaining. Seconds left.
Oh my god.
Down B.
Oh my god! Flawless from your team. I don't even think any of them got hit that round. Look at their health.
Everything was going as perfect as it could possibly go, which made trusting the process entirely worth it. No way. Wait, I actually have a number?
Wait, you're actually top 5,000 too.
No,
well, it's
fuck.
because it's early in the act.
Yeah, well, that still counts.
You're actually on the leaderboard right now.
Yo! I'm sorry. Hold on.
If you push career, or on the leaderboard, the name in the bottom.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Dude, no. Holy shit.
Oh, it'd take a bit to update.
Oh, wait, hold on. Alright, I'm right here. Wait. And that's where I am now, sitting at 3,810th in the country. The epilogue is now complete, and now it's time to go farther. If you liked the video, subscribe, because there's more on the way.